نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي يا رب صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم. My respected elders, brothers and friends, brothers and sisters, we are in the month of Ramadan, in the last portion of month of Ramadan. Month of Ramadan itself is a blessed month, and today is Friday, and Friday is also a blessed day. This is the day our Prophet ﷺ instructed us to send as much as we can salutations on him, and also he advised us to recite Surah Kahf on this day. And he said, whosoever will recite Surah Kahf on Friday, from this Friday till next Friday, he will remain safe from every mischief, no other trials. And if in his lifetime the impostor, the Dajjal appears, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will save him from the mischief of Dajjal. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect us against every mischief, protect ourselves, our family members, our children and our coming generation. My respected elders, last night the Hufaz-e-Kiram recited the 27th juz, and this juz covers various of surahs. One of them is Surah Al-Waqi'ah. If anybody wants to make the poverty stay away from him, then this is a surah to recite every night. Abdullah bin Masud radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he was ill. Usman Ghani radiallahu ta'ala anhu came to visit him, and he asked him, Ma tashtaki? What are you complaining of? He said, Ashtaki dhunubi. I'm complaining of my own sins. You know, these personalities, Sahaba Ikram, the men of paradise, and everyone who is very close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he always considers himself as a sinner. He is never proud of himself. He never looks down to others. Rather, he considers himself as inferior than others. He thinks he is nothing. So similarly, Abdullah bin Masud radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he said, I'm lying on my bed of death, and soon I will be meeting my Lord. And what is me is my sins. Here, these personalities, after having done everything, would consider themselves as sinfuls. And here we are doing nothing and comparing and considering ourselves as a very pious and very righteous. This is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't like. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants, in the court of Allah, there is everything. But there's one thing, it's not in Allah's court. Allah has everything, but one thing Allah doesn't have. Just keep this in mind. Allah has everything, one thing Allah doesn't have. And that is being humbleness. This is not in Allah's hands. Allah is not humble. He wants to see me and you being humble. And showing ourselves that we are nothing. Always consider yourself, or we should consider ourselves compared to other people as nothing. This is what Allah likes, and this is what Allah loves. So Abdullah bin Masud radiallahu ta'ala, he said, at this very moment, what I worry is my own sins. So Abdullah bin Usman radiallahu ta'ala anhu said, he said, if you would like, then I'll call a doctor for you. He said, the doctor, he is the one who caused me to be here. The doctor, he meant Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's the doctor, he caused me this illness which I'm going through. And then Hazrat Usman Ghani radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he said to me, I would like to grant you some public money. Hazrat Abdullah bin Masud radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he said, no, I don't need anything. He said, you have daughters, and they will help, the money will help your daughters after your death. He said, you don't worry about my daughters, because I have taught my daughters one thing, and if they stick to this, they will never become poor. He said, what is that? He said, on one occasion I heard Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam saying, Man qara'a surat al-waqi'ah, he who will recite the surah Waqi at night, lam tusibhu faqatun, he will never become poor. He who will recite surah Waqi at night, he will never become poor. This is what I have taught my daughters. This is what I have taught my daughters, to keep on reciting surah Waqi every night. That's why when people approach the elders and the pious and the righteous personalities and ask them, we are going through financially, we are very weak, so give us some wazaif. So they say, don't forget to read Surah Waqia at night. This is a wazifa. Read Surah Waqia every night. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not let you fall into poverty. And also in Surah Waqia, what is meant, the topic Allah covers here is regarding touching the Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in this Quran, only the purified ones can touch it. Meaning, the one, he is in purity. Meaning, if he wants to touch the Quran, he has to be in ablution. Without ablution, anyone cannot touch the Quran. Impurity is of two types. One is the minor and one is major. Minor is when a person is in need of wudu, and the major is when he is in need of, he has to fardu ghusl. When a person wants to touch the Quran and he has no wudu, he cannot touch the Quran, because Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam on one occasion wrote a letter to his companion Amr bin Hazm, and in the letter he wrote that the Quran cannot be touched unless one has a wudu. So according to this verse and the ahadith of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the four imams, Imam Abu Hanifa, Imam Malik, Imam Shafi, and Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal, the four imams, they agree upon this, that the Quran cannot be touched by a person who is without wudu. But there are some rulings. There are some rulings, and the rulings are, if the Quran is in a cover which is permanently attached to the Quran, according to the four imams, then it is not allowed to touch it. If the Quran is in a cover and the cover is attached permanently with the Quran, then the Quran cannot be touched by a person who doesn't have a wudu. But if the Quran is in a cover which is not permanently, then according to Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi, he can't touch it. According to Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi, he cannot touch the Quran. If the cover is if the cover is not permanent, then you can't touch the Quran. Then you can't touch the Quran if you don't have a wudu. But if there's another ruling, like if a person wants to touch the Quran, he doesn't have a wudu, he wants to touch the Quran, he wants to pick the Quran with his sleeves. Can he do this? If sometimes a person doesn't have a wudu and he wants to pick the Quran up and put it somewhere and he doesn't have a wudu, so can he use his own sleeves in order to pick the Quran? He cannot. He's not allowed to do this. Because the sleeves, this garment is on his body, so he cannot touch the Quran if he doesn't have a wudu. If he doesn't have a wudu, he cannot touch the Quran with his sleeves. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, the Quran cannot be touched by a person who doesn't have a wudu. And another topic which is covered in the portion which was recited last night is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says on the day of judgment, the believers will receive a light in the plane of the day of resurrection. Now there will be many stages. In that plane there will be many stages. People will have to make a stay. They have to make a stay. One stage will be that the people, they will be in darkness. They will be not able to see anything. But believers, those who believe in Allah, in His messages and the hereafter, they will receive the light according to their good actions. Some will receive the light and their light will be as big as a mountain. And some individuals will have a light around them, and this light will be large as a date tree. And some will receive a light which will be as big as his index finger. Even this will sometimes go off. Now, Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in a hadith, he mentions how we can get the light there. In one hadith, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he says, give glad tidings to those of a perfect nur light on the day of judgment who go to the masjid in darkness. They come for Fajr prayer, they come for Isha prayer. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is saying, give them the good news that on the day of judgment, in the plane of resurrection where there will be darkness, they will be in the light. And another hadith, Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he says, the one who will take care of his 5 daily prayers, this will serve as a light for him, as a proof for him, as a salvation for him. And the one who will not take care of his prayer, meaning he doesn't offer the prayers. Sometimes some prayers he does offer and some he doesn't. So he says, the one who will not take care of his prayers on the day of judgment, his prayers neither will be light for him, nor there will be any proof for him, nor there will be any salvation for him. Rather, he will stand with Fir'aun, Qarun and Haman. These are the enemies of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah will make him stand with them. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the hadith, he says, the one who will recite Surah Kahf on Friday, he will have a light on the day of judgment. How much? He explains, a light will extend from his feet to the height of the skies. In another hadith, Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he says, the one who will recite Surah Kahf on Friday, he will receive a light on the day of judgment, which will extend from his feet to the Makkah al-Mukarramah. This light he will receive on the day of judgment. And our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in another hadith, he says, the one who will send salutation on me on the day of judgment, when he will be walking on the bridge, he won't be in darkness. He will not be in darkness. Because of sending salutation on me, he will be in a light. He will receive light. He will have light around him. He will have light around him. He will not be darkness. And the Prophet ﷺ, he said, the one who will recite one verse of Quran, the one will recite one verse of Quran on the day of judgment, this one verse, the recitation of one verse will serve as a light for him. Just imagine, reading one verse will bring a light for him on the day of judgment. What about those who recite the Quran every day? What about those who recite the Quran every day? How much light they will receive on the day of judgment from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Another hadith, Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is saying, when a pilgrim, when a haji, when he is shaving his head in order to come out of ihram, and he says the hair which falls on the ground will be a light for him on the day of judgment. And Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says in another hadith, when the hajis are stoning the shaitan in Mina, this amal, this act of stoning the shaitan will serve as a light for him on the day of judgment. And the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says that the one who will reduce a calamity from a Muslim, then on the day of judgment, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will grant him a light while he will be walking on the sirat. So my respected elders, these are the actions which will bring light for us on the day of judgment. And what will happen, the sins, when someone will commit the sins, then on the day of judgment, he will receive no light. There will be no light for him. He will be left in darkness in the plane of resurrection. So the message of today is that we should, day and night, and the month of Ramadan came us to, give us a boost to do the good deeds, And so that after Ramadan, we continue till the next Ramadan doing the good deeds, so that we can receive the light on the day of judgment when there will be no light. When there will be no light except the light of our good deeds. So this is what we need to do, and this is what we need to teach our children. That we need to do the good deeds. Through our good deeds, we will please Allah, we will please our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and then the bonus is that on the day of judgment, we will receive the light in which we will walk and we will enter the paradise. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make this majlis means of our forgiveness, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this last Ashra, may He forgive all of us, our parents, our children, and every Muslim. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. وصلى الله تعالى على خير خلقه محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين.